There has to be a couple red cards and artifacts I can keep, right? Even the bulk. What's going on, everybody? Back again for the second video of week 1 spoilers. We saw what blue had. Blue synergizes really well. Blue is really strong cards. I'm looking at red and artifacts today. I don't think these are going to work either. So let's get into it and take a look at the red cards, and then we'll dive into the artifacts. So first up, I know that this was a little bit of a meme and iconic scene that people really wanted to see on a card, but we have Suplex. 1 in a red, you get to choose one. Suplex deals 3 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Or exile target artifact. I think these type of choice spells are always really good. It's nice and low. There's always going to end up being a place for it. 1 in a red to exile target artifact at the bare minimum seems pretty sweet. We have good old triple triad, reminds me of double dragon. So 3 red enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until end of turn, you may play the card you own exiled this way and each other card exiled this way with lesser mana value than it without paying their mana cost. So sick. You get to go and exile cards from everybody's library. You look at yours. If everybody has cards, or all the cards everybody else has that has a mana value less than yours, you get to play for free. So I could see this commander wise going in decks that are going to have a really high cost, high curve, so you can just play everything out of everybody's decks. Yes, it is 6 mana, so it is a little expensive, but is what it is. Doesn't see play in slower, well, faster formats. Self-destruction. 1 in a red. Instant, target creature you control deals X damage to any other target and X damage to itself, where X is its power. So this is a really interesting one because you could just kind of use it as a easy, simple removal spell if it has bigger toughness than it does power, and you get away scotch-free with that. I think there's a lot of ways that you'll be able to end up abusing this. I mean, just thinking off the top of my head for some good old spoilers, Tifa, the one that is in green, this card would kind of be insane. It's a kill spell for an opponent because you deal X damage to any other target. That's sweet. That's sweet. This card's going to be dangerous. If I pull it in the pre-release, I'm running it hands down, not even thinking about it. Next up, we have the summon Esperama. 2 red, and it has 3 levels on it. This creature deals damage equal to the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard to target creature and opponent controls. And then 2 and 3 wizards you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It is also a creature, so it's a 3/3. I think it has maybe a little bit of a place in a wizard deck, but it doesn't seem super overpowered. Interested to see where this one goes in multiple formats. Next up, we have a little equipment, Warrior's Sword. 3 in a red. It has that job select that is specific to Final Fantasy, but similar to other abilities that we have. Equipped creature gets +3/+2 and is a warrior in addition to other types. Seems kind of cool. I don't think it's good enough to actually see really any play, but maybe like pre-release style. Next up, another equipment, Samurai's Katana. 2 in a red. Job select, and equipped creature gets +2/+2, has trample and haste, and is a samurai in addition to its other types. I'm playing this way over the last one, right? This card just seems unlimitedly better than the last one. It gives you trample and haste. Play this card instead. Next up, item shopkeep. 1 in a red for a 2/2 human citizen. Whenever you attack target, attacking equipped creature gains menace until the end of turn. So let's give you some equipment, use that equipment, and get cool stuff nearly unblockable. A lot of people don't take that trade. Next up, Freya Crescent 1. And we have jump. During your turn, Freya has flying. Sick. 1 mana, 1/1 flyer. Okay, decent. It's not insane, but like it is nice to have because you get in, 2, maybe 3 times. But it also has tap and add red. Spend this mana only to cast an equipment spell or activate equip ability. So that seems fairly good. I can't think of an equipment that we have right now that is actually 1 mana, but it'll help you get that out. So you get in for, a turn or 2 and then helps you equip stuff once it can't get through anymore. Next up, we have Judgment Bolt 3 in a red. Judgment Bolt deals 5 damage to target creature and X damage to creature's controller, where X is the number of equipments you control. Woof. Equipment decks go crazy. That's going to be super good, because even if you don't kill the creature but you have a bunch of equipment, alright, that's kind of crazy. Now, yes, it is limited to equipment decks, but those decks are going to love this card. Lightning, Securities, Sergeant, 2 and a red. Menace, it's a 2/3, and whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as you control lightning. Sweet, I like it. Anything that gets us extra cards off the top of our deck and doesn't add to our hand size, great. As long as you control lightning, you can play it so it doesn't go away at the end of your turn. Awesome. Love the card. Now, Laughing Mad, 2 and a red. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards. We've seen this ability a million different times. Not really surprised that it's in the set. It does have flashback for 3 and a red. Next up, Barrett Wallace, 3 and a red. And then Reach. Whenever Barrett attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player. Once again, I think equipment decks love this. It's also a 4/4, so 4 for a 4/4 with Reach. And then it also cares about the equipment that you have and how many creatures are equipped. Great. And it deals damage directly to defending player's face. Great. I think that's really cool. I'm excited to see what ends up happening with it. So we have Zell, 2 in a red. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Zell gets +1/+0 for each land you control. Okay, that's sweet too. At the beginning of your end step, return a land you control to its owner's hand. This is also a great target for, what was it, self-destruction, I think? Huge toughness on it compared to its power. And then you just equip things onto it. Now, our second of our magic spells, we saw Ice Spell during the blue. So now we have Fire Magic. And this one costs a red, and then 4/0, Fire Magic deals 1 damage to each creature. For 2 additional, Fire Magic deals 2 damage to each creature. And then for 5 additional, so 6, Fire Magic deals 3 to each creature. Now we have Fireon, Wild Rose Warrior, 2 in a red. Equipped creatures you control have haste. Whenever a non-token equipment you control enters, create a token that's a copy of it, except it has this equipment's equip ability costs 2 less to activate. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. So it's also a 3/3. I think this is really cool. It gives all of your equipped creatures haste, and it'll also double up on a specific non-token equipment. Yes, it goes away at the end step, but we have so many cards that just care about how many equipment you have. This card is going to be pretty neat to have. Now we have Gilgamesh. This is the one I'm really excited for, just in general, not for a specific format, but for red. Whenever Gilgamesh enters or attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put any number of equipment cards from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When you put one or more equipment onto the battlefield this way, you may attach one of them to a samurai you control. It's also a 6/6. Wow. Talk about an equipment freaking commander, man. That's so cool. I love this. I think it's great. It lets you go and basically fish for any amount of equipments. Yes, it costs 6, so you're probably not equipping all of them, but you get one for free. And yeah, that just seems sick. Clive, Ifrit's dominant 4 and a red. When Clive enters, you may discard your hand, then draw cards equal to your devotion to red. This could be sweet. I like this way of using devotion. It's very... It was cool the way that we did it with gods, but having this as a style to use devotion, I love it. But wait, there's more. 4 red, tap exile Clive, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. What do we get? You get Ifrit, Warden of Inferno. So this has 3 steps to it. Number 1, Ifrit fights up to 1 other target creature. Okay, cool. How strong is it? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a 9/9, so that's not really a problem for most things. Then Brimstone for the final 2 steps. And red. If Ifrit has 3 or more lore counters on it, exile it, then return it to the battlefield. That seems bonkers, right? So you have a chance to basically net 8 red mana, and then also you fight, and then you can also swing on the second step. Ifrit's going to be a sweet card. I think it's going to be a real sweet card. Yes, it is a little expensive for faster formats. We'll see. And also, when it flips back over, you get to do the devotion thing again for red. And Clive himself adds 4 devotion to the whole thing. So at minimum, if Clive is the only thing on your battlefield, you're going to draw 4 off of devotion. So that is it for red. Next, we are going to dive into artifacts real quick and just have a couple. So first up, we have Summon Bahamut. It is 9. Destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent for level 1 and 2. Then number 3, draw 2 cards. Sweet. And then number 4, this creature deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent. That's a closer. That just wins games. I forget what card it is, but there is a card that is released in this set that allows you to bring back sagas and put 3 counters on it. So if you end up doing that, you get to do the 4th one basically right at your next draw step. That's insane. It is flying and it is a 9/9. Cards kind of sick. Next up, we have Ultima, Origin of Oblivion. So flying, whenever Ultima attacks, put a blight counter on target land. For as long as that land has a blight counter on it, it loses all land types and abilities and has tap for a waste. And then whenever you tap a land for a waste, add an additional waste. So it is a mana doubler essentially, but for waste / colorless. It's a 5 mana cost and it's a 4/4. I think this is really cool in colorless decks or maybe Eldrazi specific decks. Try and find a way to get as many of those counters out as possible. Maybe commander wise you proliferate and then you move the counters. That would be sick. I think this card has a place. I'm not sure right now with the cards that are released that it is in the set specifically or standard or those type of things, but I've been wrong before. Next up, we have Ultima Weapon. It is a 7 cost. Whenever equipped creature attacks, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Equipped creature gets +7/+7, and it's an equip 7. Yeah, big beefy equipment. Great card. Yeah, it's just plain and simple. It does what it does, right? And when it attacks, destroy target creature and opponent controls. Cool. Takes out blockers also. Great. Now we have Magitech Scythe for 4. When this equipment enters, you may attach it to target creature you control. If you do, that creature gains first strike until end of turn and must be blocked this turn if able. It also gains +2/+1, and it's an equip too. I think this is an interesting one, a good way to kind of get something annoying out of the way that somebody is holding back or has made basically unblockable. Yeah, I think it's got a really good place. And finally, Instant Ramen 4/2 Flash. Interesting. And when this artifact enters, draw a card. And then it has your basic food ability of 2 taps, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. Alright everybody, thank you for hanging in there with me. Wanted to make a quick second video for Red and Colorless, not necessarily artifacts, but colorless spells, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. See you next time, everyone.